So, I don't know if I've mentioned it before on this channel, but I love Star Wars, and I love that with a passion. I have lots of opinions about Star Wars and all, it's just everything. And this is not a new thing. I've loved it since I was like 6 years old. I've been obsessed with all of it, and I know I did a review for Light of the Jedi. I want to read Heir to the Empire, one of the start books in the Legends this month, and I just wanted to start talking. I'm gonna do a series on the prequel trilogy, sequel trilogy. Now I'm gonna do the original trilogy. Just talking about the original trilogy and why I loved it so much. And this is gonna be a long video because I love it with a passion, and I think Star Wars is one of the best sci-fi ever, and this is I'm gonna stand by that, and I'm probably gonna read a lot of the EU this year, next year, and the year after that. It's gonna be a chunk of my reading portion. Obviously, not all of it, because I still plan to read a bunch of different sci-fi. But I want to get more into sci-fi, just sci-fi. I mean, fantasy. I got most of the fantasy I want to read done. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop reading fantasy. I'm probably gonna have at the very least, one fantasy a month. But I want to get more into sci-fi because that's my real genre. And again, Stormlight's my favorite series ever, fantasy. And my favorite book is a sci-fi. It's Dune, right there. But I just love sci-fi. These are the best sci-fi movies. The trilogy. This is the original trilogy, which is A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of Jedi. Now these movies are classics. They got the job done a while ago, and obviously it's grown so much. That's what happens with Star Wars. It was this little thing, and then we've all grown on this lore just so much more. And then this person comes in here, it's more like really entangled, and that's what I love about it. The world building you can shoot holes through, and I'm okay with that. The characters are great. The storyline is great. All the characters are great. Over Christmas break, I've rewatched all the Star Wars movies, so I'm gonna review all of them. I'm just gonna review the trilogy, not all of them individually, because I don't have that kind of time. And I loved it. Everything about this trilogy was perfect. I would say my favorite was Return of the Jedi, because just Luke is so cool in that. Like, it kind of feels like if you watch Return of the Jedi, you can know this is why people went crazy, because whenever Luke returned in The Mandalorian and Boba Fett returned in The Mandalorian. Because it's great. You can see how Luke's changed and how he's become a real Jedi master. And you can see how all these people have changed. And I know the twist is very famous now, and you're not going to be shocked if you've watched it. But back then, which I wasn't alive at that time, but it was crazy. And if you look at it for what it is, it's a great movie, and you really don't see it coming, because he's the bad guy. This was one of the first redemption arcs ever. Well, not I think it was handled very well. CGI wasn't brilliant at the time, so barely any CGI. It's all real, and obviously the visual effects don't look good. That's the thing. I think the only thing that the sequel trilogy thrives in was the visual effects were amazing, and I would love that. But the writing was terrible, and I have a rant video for the sequels because I hate the sequels. And this trilogy is amazing. These three, the New Hope, obviously very old. Nothing kind of. It's just not really that. It's kind of like different. It's from the other ones. Like, it's very slow, but it also has a lot of the things that we love about Star Wars in it. And it's just basically the basis of Star Wars kind of grows on from there. And it's like you can see all the that Luke's not a perfect person, and he's not great, but he's the savior. And Obi-Wan, he dies in the first movie, and obviously I don't think you can't do an amazing fight scene like the Mustafar fight scene, which I think is one of the best fight scenes of all time. The Mustafar was really good, and then the Darth Vader in the Rogue One, and then the Luke Skywalker in the Mandalorian, and that's cool. But back then they were just doing. It was kind of boring, but when you look at it for the storyline, it's great. like Obi-Wan sacrifices himself. It's with one of an old mentor. It's kind of like a Gandalf trope, except for Gandalf didn't die. But yeah, the old mentor, Obi-Wan was a great mentor, and then when you watch the prequel trilogies, you love Obi-Wan even more. Obi-Wan's awesome, and Anakin's awesome. I love the character of Anakin Skywalker and his redemption arc in this trilogy. The Empire Strikes Back, that was great. I think, in my opinion, each movie gets better and better for the original trilogy. The Empire Strikes Back was obviously one of my favorites of all time because of just the fact that Yoda's presence, and he was not this ultimate warrior, and he was not this. He was an old, like a little rat from a desert, from a jungle planet, and that's why Luke doesn't think he's Yoda. And Yoda trains him, but not for very long, because you can see Luke's selfish behavior keeps him to leave and go to his friends, which doesn't really complete his training. But you can see the difference from him in these two movies, so Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And you can see the difference, and I really love Luke in Return of the Jedi. That's just one of the best parts about that movie. He looks so cool. That's why everyone was going crazy when he came back in The Mandalorian. And one of the best, and you can't really beat that ever. So yeah, this was just my review for the original trilogy of Star Wars. I love Star Wars. You're gonna get a lot of Star Wars content from me in the future, and that's just great. So I just wanted to do my review, and I hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video, which should be Rhythm of War. I'm not gonna be finished with that in 2 days, but something's gonna be the next video. Alright, so see you in the next one.